Hey folks, let's talk about the keys to success in our fitness and health journeys. And really anywhere. Because honestly, if you figured out what it takes to be successful in the long run, you can apply that to any domain. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to go over some challenges and some wins, and let's talk about the poll from Monday and things that are happening in the group. Because really, this is all about trying to bring everyone together in this group and get the most out of the community setting. First, though, just if you have anyone where you're like, man, I wish they were part of this, or you know anybody who could really benefit from the community setting, or is really looking for some assistance and doesn't know where to start with their health and fitness journeys, invite them. Invite them into the group. This is for everybody. You're welcome to invite whoever you like, as long as you think that they're going to benefit and participate in the community setting. So if you got friends or family that need some help, bring them in. We're going to try and help them. So let's think a little bit about the poll here. So let me bring this up. So this Monday's poll, so we had a little chat last week. Where is it? We had a little chat last week about the poll from last week. And this week, let's see here. Why is this not coming up? New posts. There we go. Okay. So we've had some good conversations in the group here from Ella about the uh, incidental cardio stuff. Andrew's loving his deadlifts, which is great. But let's look at time management. And then I do want to talk about those other things real quick too. So, okay, time management. How do we deal with that, and how do we deal with it being the biggest challenge? If you're an adult and you have a job or you have a family or literally any other hundreds of responsibilities that mean we have to pick and choose what we do with our day, it is a challenge to manage our time. So, with this, I had a few questions. So let's sort of break this down a little bit. How do you overcome the obstacle of time management when it comes to working out? The first answer choice was my life is chaos. And I was really hoping that nobody would be like, yeah, my life is chaos. But we have a few people in there. And honestly, they're people that I know work hard and get the work done. Vasuki, Kim, Gab, Megan, like, they're all hardworking people who find time. Kim competed in strongman last year. Uh, Gab and Megan are hardworking clients, but almost everybody in there, actually all of them in there that I know, have kids and families, which makes time management a challenge. And as someone with a toddler and a business and a bunch of chickens, things that take up time and effort, we have to prioritize. And for me, that means things like I can't do 6 days of training a week because I can't recover. I've got other things I want to prioritize. Uh, and if we look at some of the more popular answers, like I know my priorities or working on to-do lists and calendars, if you're using a to-do list, if you're using a calendar, you understand where your priorities lie and how to manage those. You put them on a list or you put them in your calendar and you say, this is when I do this and this is when I do that. And that is prioritizing. And you're putting things on there that have to be done. And I know Beck lives by the calendar, and she's put in there that she schedules her food and her snacks and things, and if that's what it takes to get the things done during the day, do that. But really, we have to find, first of all, our why so that we can prioritize. So if your goal is something like, I want to get more out of life in the domain of outdoor adventures, or a really common one is people with kids have a hard time keeping up with their kids, have a hard time being able to play with them, grandparents especially, have a hard time with the physical and energy levels required to keep up with kids. And that's one of the first things that you notice when you start proactively training with a bit of a schedule and with a bit of structure. The first thing I hear from everybody is, my energy levels have improved. And that alone allows you to get more. And if it's a priority, I've got lots of moms who are training with multiple kids, and they're doing it because they understand that if they want to be as capable and as active in their kids' lives as they possibly can for as long as they can, They have to look after their physical body, their physical health, their meat suit that carries them through life. And so those that are like, I know my priorities, have already, I believe, come to this conclusion. They know what they need to do to get what they want out of life. And something you can do, which is sort of a business tactic, is a time audit. So actually writing down each hour of each day, sometimes you can get really particular and it could be 15-minute increments. And you go, what did I do these last 15 minutes? What did I do these last 15 minutes? Write it down and realize that there's a lot of stuff that we don't need to be doing, that we just do, that doesn't help us in the pursuit of what we want out of life, what we really want. We all want to have fun and enjoyment and probably eat good food and get good sleep. But so often we do things that work in the exact opposite direction of the things that we really want to get out of life. So understanding your why. Why are you doing it? And then learning how to prioritize the things that let you get there. So let's say you want to climb mountains. So I've got a client, Mark, who I'll be speaking with this week and hopefully sharing a story with you all very soon. Mark literally climbs mountains. He was just in New Zealand for 8 days climbing mountains. He's going to hit some 8,000 meter peaks in the next couple of years. He's literally training to be as robust as possible to climb some of the tallest mountains on Earth. And that means priorities like making sure he's strong, capable, and has, low injury rate and gets a lot of mountain time in are the priorities. And so that means he has to cut out things that do not support those bigger whys. So figure out what your why is, and then figure out what the priorities are that keep that why in your focus, that keep you moving towards that target. And then you'll be able to manage your time. And that also means sometimes you can't do everything. Sometimes you cannot do all the things you want to do. And like I tell people that I work with all the time, when it comes to food or fun things, it's not that you can't do those things. You can't enjoy those things. It's that you can't enjoy them, especially with food, all the time. You can enjoy them sometime. And if you really want something out of life, it's probably not going to mean you get to do every fun thing. And so understanding where that balance is really the key to your success. You have to figure out where that balance lies and prioritize the things that actually take you to where you want to be. And that's not a nice thing to say sometimes, because sometimes it means that, the things that we enjoy now are not the things that allow us to enjoy the things we really want later. And most of the time that's food. So food, staying up late, watching TV, like that's short-term stuff. What we really want in life, what we're going to tell next generations, our children or grandchildren, our nieces and nephews, or, the stories that we're going to have in the future to tell and pass on aren't going to be about the latest Netflix series or about that one donut you had that was really tasty. It's going to be about the big things, the whys, and then how you got there. And then you can pass on that wisdom. And that's, of course, coming from a parent. So knowing your priorities. If your life is chaos and you're still getting the work done based on what you want out of life, your life's not really chaos. It's a controlled chaos at the very least. Let's see here. So like Kate, she says that she structures her day and workout either really early before the kids get up or when they're at school, and she finds weekend workouts really hard. And that's the thing for me too. I don't do weekend workouts. It has to be during the work week. That's when I have it scheduled. Most of the time it's 3 sessions a week. I try for 4 sessions every once in a while and find that ultimately 3 sessions is the sweet spot for me. And right now my technical pursuit is archery, and I've got a tournament in about a month, and I have to spend a lot of time shooting, which takes away from that extra time for just general training, and I have to find that balance. But right now the priority is shooting. So when I had deload week last week, I didn't deload train. I spent more time shooting my bow. So understanding, finding out your why, and if you have questions about how to get there and want to delve into that, let me know, and I can guide you through the process of finding that why and then prioritizing. Ask me, you can ask the group. There's lots of great people in here who would know all about that. So looking back at this poll, it's nice that we've got so many people voting on it, and we've got some good systems. It's great to see calendars, to-do lists. That's just a way of making sure the priorities get done. but you have to know what those priorities are. And thanks to Abby and Andrew and everybody sharing really delicious food. If you have questions about that stuff, shout out. Abby's got nutrition qualification and she's helping with some great recipes, and Andrew is a culinary wizard with a lot of delicious things in his life. So always feel free to ask about that as well, because as we all know, food and sleep. Food and sleep are the two pillars that keep us going, doing the things we love doing. So prioritize those at the very least, even if you can't get to the gym. So I think if you have any questions on that, let me know. We'll have another poll next Monday about another aspect of our health and fitness journey. So let's see here. I wanted to talk about a couple client wins too. The first was Mark, who I've already mentioned, who is a mountaineer, and he's got a lot to balance. He's in the military. He goes rock climbing. He's actually from Ireland, and he's over in Victoria, and so he's got a lot of travel and stuff to balance, and he's still killing his workouts a little bit better every week, and that's it, man. Like, he's found his priorities. He knows his why. Climb mountains, big mountains. He knows his why, and he's prioritized the things that will allow him to do that for as long as he wants to do that. And I want to shout out to my client Greg. Greg is a fairly new client. He's come into this with a little bit of training experience, and his goal in his 60s is to get as jacked as possible. And I think that's great. Like, just see what you can do. And he's killing it. And every week, in every session, it's a little bit better. Technique's improving. And already I can tell he's going to do great because he's mastered the art of prioritizing and getting the work done almost every day. So that's awesome. So always good to see the progress. And then Madison, who shared his story a couple weeks back, I just want to say that if you follow me on Instagram, I'm usually sharing some of his workout comments in my stories, because where was it? He had the best comment on the workout from the last week, and he said something about how after doing some face pulls, his shoulders looked like baseballs, and he's about to knock it out of the park, which cracked me up. So Madison, Greg, Mark, all doing a great job. Really want to acknowledge that this week, and I'll have some more shout outs for next week. It's always good to see how everyone's doing. So if you got any thoughts or questions, you can drop them on the video when I upload that. You can drop them in the chat. If you want to discuss stuff and you don't want to put it out into the great world of the Become Strong for Life chat, just shoot me a message. I'm happy to chat and talk through any challenges or roadblocks you're running into. And if you need some help figuring out what that why is, let me know. We'll work on that. So feel free to DM. You can get a hold of me also through my email, josh@coachjoshwood.com. And if you're trying to get those priorities sorted and you just don't know where to go, ask. Happy to help. All right, folks, thank you very much. We'll do another live next Tuesday. This time might not be best for people, and I will try and adjust this. So if you got any suggestions on times or days, please let me know. Enjoy your week.